Hello and welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, this time around in English, as you already may have noticed. My name is Gerald, and as always I've got a couple of different things with me. But first, let's talk about today's episode, because today's episode is a very extraordinary one. I don't want to use the word special in this case, because there is going to be a special episode for this episode too. But this is the extraordinary one, because we have episode 300 now. 300, whatever you want to count it like. And in the end, 300 is really a pretty big number already. I wouldn't have thought about that I'm going to do this channel for that long of a time, because if you more or less try to calculate it down, we got about 52 weeks in 1 year, so we are close to 6 years now of runtime for this channel. And yeah, I hope you had fun with it, and of course you will have fun with it. It depends on what is going to be talked about in the special episode. So I'm not going to talk about that in the normal episode for now, but let's see what I'm going to talk to you in the special episode about. And yeah, other than that, of course, as always, I've got a couple of different things with me, and I'm going to show you, of course, 3 different games again. And the 3 games we are going to have a look at in this episode are going to be Supermarket Grocery Superstore, City Island Paradise Sim, and HNG Zombie Defense. My name is Gerald, as you all already know, and of course I've got a couple of different things with me, like for instance the Arc Mouse. You already know about that. I'm not sure if I used it in the first episode already, but in the end it's very old too. But still a cool device, I really like it. Especially if you want to take it with you or something. You really can do it in this arc form. Now it's more or less switched on. And if you're going to put it into this flat form, whatever you want to call that, now it's easy to transport, but it's also not switched on. So it's more or less going to save battery life like this. And of course it's much easier to put it into, I don't know, your sleeve or wherever you want to put it. And now it's on again. Bluetooth device, so we can connect it, for instance, with a smartphone or anything that is going to support Bluetooth. And yeah, additional to that, you already know about that, is a foldable keyboard. This is this one, and this one has a pretty similar approach. So if you're going to put it into this mode, so just flip it close or something, then you are going to get this kind of device, which is easy to put into your pockets, or better to say into your backpack or something, or for me into my bag. And like that you can easily transport it. It's still pretty thin, as you can see, and it's going to be rechargeable by USB, micro USB in this case I think, but USB-C is available too. And in this way you can really take it with you, use it as a keyboard for anything that supports Bluetooth again, because it's a Bluetooth device. And we are going to use this in this episode, of course, too. And other than that, we have the Xbox One as wireless controller, which is not going to be used in this episode, because there's no game that is going to support it in a meaningful way, at least. And this is a Bluetooth device too, so if you have any kind of supporting device, like for instance our smartphone we are going to use here, you can just play with it in certain situations at least, because not all of the games are going to support it, but some do, and those some are pretty much fun to use in this case. Okay, but as mentioned before, there's none of the games which are going to be in this episode which we are going to play with this in a meaningful way, so it's going to stay at the side. Yeah, and of course, just to let you know, this is a smartphone we are talking about. It's one of the Continuum-enabled smartphones by Microsoft. Pretty old now too, but still I like it very much, because it has a couple of different things which are really nice features. And that's still the case. For instance, it has a very good audio quality, microphone quality, has a great camera. Still, even today, it's upper class, I would say. And other than that, of course, this smartphone is Continuum enabled. And Continuum enabled means that you can for instance, use something like this. You see now the smartphone is more or less just a touchpad, and we can, for instance, use that to navigate here on the screen more or less. And that is done by a USB-C cable in this case. You could do it wirelessly depending on if you have a display adapter or not. But in this case we are going to use it with a USB-C cable just because it's also charging the device now. And like that, the USB-C cable is connected to the display dock. It can be, for instance, something like the display dock, which is a USB-C connector device. And of course, or better to say display USB-C hub, that's the right name. And in the end, the USB-C hub is connected by HDMI in this case to the TV, and like that you can see the smartphone created desktop-like experience you see here. This is Continuum, so it's a desktop-like experience. You can use it with the mouse, with a keyboard and stuff like that. And it's not just a mirrored image or something. There are a few other technologies which were much later there, more or less. So for instance, from Samsung DeX, I think is something that is pretty similar, not the same, because there are a couple of different other things that are going on there. And yeah, some things are better at Samsung DeX, for instance, that you can use I think the window part, so you have different windows, which is not possible at the moment with one of the Microsoft devices here. On the other side, it can be used, for instance, wirelessly. You can use it with different other devices and so on and so forth. It's not going to be that hot. So in the end, the DeX part there was very, very demanding on the smartphone, and so the battery life was very, very limited and stuff like that. And you needed really special equipment to connect it to and stuff like that. And all that was not the same here, so this is a pretty nice device, I would say, even so it's pretty old now. And yeah, other than that, I don't know what I should say too. Yeah, of course, so connected like this, smartphone is going to do everything we have on the screen. And if you want to know more about all this, there are 300 episodes in this channel now, and a couple more because there are special episodes too, which are going to be available, for instance, using the part there with the playlist, or just have a look at the channel itself. Okay, so I would say we talked enough for this episode, the start there, and so let's have a look at this first game, which is Supermarket Groceries Superstore. The second one will be City Island Paradise Sim, and the third one, as mentioned before, HNG Zombie Defense. So let's start with the first game. So the first game, for that I'm going to go to my all apps list, and I'm going to search for it with super. Maybe that even is enough already. Yeah. So at the lowest part here, Supermarket Grocery Superstore, I'm going to click on that. And yeah, now let's have a look at this. This is more or less a game, I would say, targeted for smaller children. I'm not sure. You can play it as an adult. It's not that bad or something, or unentertaining or something. But in the end, what you are going to have to do here is you are going to more or less buy stuff in the supermarket, and a couple of other games I'm showing you later on, where you're going to buy stuff in the supermarket from a supermarket list or a shopping list, more or less. And I'm going to turn down the volume a little bit, which is of course done by the Foldable keyboard in this case. So there are a couple of action keys here, and I can just press on them to increase the volume and stuff like that, as many keyboards already have it. Okay, so let's have a look. Kids Go Shopping Supermarket is another name for it, and I'm just going to click on play. And as you can see, there are a couple of different other games available here too, so fruit slicing, room cleanup, food maker and stuff like that. These are more or less, let's call it the levels of the game. So first one is shopping, so I'm going to click on that. There we go. And as you can see, you have some kind of a shopping list here. So we have to buy 3 apples, for instance. So for that, you're just going to drag and drop 3 apples down into your basket here. after that you can just go to the next part or buy more like that. Okay, but this is of course fruits, so vegetables are not available in the screen, so we have to go to the next one. For that we are just sliding more or less to the next part, and here we have to get aubergine. Is that an English word? I'm not sure. In the end we have to buy a certain fruit, and here we have to buy a drink, which is of course the orange juice probably, and then we are going to go to the next part, and here we will have to buy some kind of a toy for the kids, maybe that one. Sweet times. Okay, why not? And as you can see, next item is bought, and so we are going to go to close or closes, and in the end we are going to buy some kind of a trouser here. Trouser with sheeps on, so probably a pajama trouser or something. 3 times again. Just put it in. And now we got the list fulfilled, and so the first, let's call it, level is done. And the interesting part about this game is that the next level, so of course we now have to pay for it. So go here. Must be a pretty hardcore coin that you can buy everything we already have there in the basket for that kind of money, but whatever. Okay, so after that you are just going to click on the next button, and now we have to suffer through some of the advertisements here. That's just, each and every level has an advertisement then. And yeah, in the end it's bearable. It's fine to see it here. After that we should be able to jump over it, sooner or later at least. Let's see. Come on, thank you. So, and as you can see, we've got a couple of different other options now here to play. One of them is more or less to put different parts here to the other stuff. And there are a couple of different other games in here, all pretty easy to solve, but they are getting harder and harder. And like this, the next level here is more or less to put everything to the right spot. So let's say we are tidying up or something like that. Oranges, apples, red apples in this case. And after that, of course, the green ones too. And so this should be the next level. We got here 3 stars and 1 star. Why 1 star? I'm not sure. Whatever. But after that, you are just going to click on the next button here. We are going to have to suffer through some advertisement here again. And after that, you are going to do the next level again and play that one. I don't think we have to play all of these. There are a couple of different ones, like for instance fruit slicing, which is like Fruit Ninja or something. So you're going to slice fruit through, and you have to do that without, for instance, clicking on one of the bombs that are going to be thrown up again too, and so on and so forth. So there are a couple of different options here to play, and after that I think there is one, what was the last one? A fruit maker or a slushy maker or something like that is there too, and so on and so forth. Let's see what the next one is we are going to have here. Okay, this is the slicing ninja part, so just slice through the fruit here. Be careful not to get one of the bombs too. Just try, oh, okay. And if you do that, then you have to suffer through some advertisement again, which is fair somehow, because in the end we did something bad. But yeah, this is more or less the game then, and so you're going to through different levels, which are all, yeah, kind of little small mini games you're going to play through, and this is more or less what you want to do here. So let's go to the next game we are going to play here, which is called City Island Paradise Sim. I'm going to turn around just to show you what's going on there. And I'm not sure, I might have to cut here because I already played it for a little time. And maybe I want to show you everything, but we will see. Yeah. Now let's cut here, and I'm going to reset the game, so we are going to start from the start again. Yeah, and so I'm going to select the City Island Paradise Sim game here. And yeah, this is more or less a SimCity-like game where you are going to create different kinds of towns in the end with different kind of options there. And the interesting part about the game is, in general, there are very, very long and hideous, I would say, kind of tutorial parts in these games. But in this case, it's really not the case. So you can really start more or less from the beginning and build your own parts here. We already had a couple of these because I think there are 5 or something. You can see them here. And I already had a look at 4 and 5, of course, but this is the original one, Paradise Sim, and I want to show you what's going on here and why this is probably the best one even. So as you can see, we have a couple of different islands here. And we are starting with the first one, which is called Trautesheim Glück allein, which is German. Let's see if I can I change that somewhere? Give me one sec. Can I change the... I'm not really sure if I can change... No, come on. Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, okay, here we go. Here we can change the language of the game. So you should be able to see anything. As you can see, we are starting with some kind of an island. It can be different. It's generated each and every time in a different place probably. And as you can see, we have white horses and stuff like that here. And they are calling us to, we start by building a house. So there is room for people to live in our city. Okay. So for that we are going to the building block part here and cozy cubby hole, for instance. We are going to get that. Put it somewhere where we can build it, as for instance in this case this part. And now we are just going to put it, for instance, there. Why not? And if you want to build something, just put it somewhere in this area. You can see the slightly transparent fields here more or less where you can put it, and after that you're just going to click on this and build it. And in the tutorial it's very fast. So first off, what we need is of course a road. So every building should have some kind of a road around it, so we can start with something. And now we should already see, we can now build something to make money with. Let's do that. For that we are going to get, for instance, a bakery, a bank, or whatever we want to. As you can see, there is our money part. We have about 500,000 to spend here, and the bakery is, for instance, 7,500. So let's do that. Get this. As you can see, there are a couple of different things which will be caused by this. For instance, we get a profit after a couple of seconds, whatever, and we will get employees here, so people are going to be more happy because they got a job. And in the end we will have some kind of a building time, or when to expect the next money part more or less, and experience will be gained for that. So let's do that. As you can see, there's a bakery. If you want to put it somewhere, just do that. And if you want to change the direction of it, for instance, you can do it like this. Okay, and after that just click on the button here to put it in. And as you can see, we are going to have our first bakery. So after a while people are going to be there, and as you can see we have 2 people which are in the bakery now working for us. And after that we can have a look at the advisor part. The city advisor is going to give you some kind of an option, and what we have to do here is more or less do more now. That's more or less what's happening here. Here is some kind of an option where we could, for instance, share it with friends and have a look and stuff like that. But we're not going to have a look at that. And as you can see, this already was the tutorial. So everything now is more or less free for you to do. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to connect everything in a fine and tidy order here, so that we get a nice and hopefully nice city to be in. And after that we will, for instance, buy a new bank. As you can see, if you already have one of those buildings, And as you can see, we can build it in a different place here. I think I'm going to build it just here. So this is a bank. It's going to produce money for us, of course. But every commercial building is producing money, but the bank is a little bit better than, for instance, a bakery. And as you can see, the taxi, which is going to drive around here, is going to give us some kind of experience if you click on it. So just collect everything that you find there. Yeah, and now you are just going to try to build your city in a much better and larger way. I'm going to try to make it a little bit tidy here. Just to let you know, it's not always wise to already do everything here, so don't go to the end and put everything in there already, because the different buildings are of different sizes more or less. So it might be that you can't put in, for instance, a beauty salon, which I'm going to put in here at this place. Because some of those are, for instance, 9 feet in size, so 3 to 3 or 3 multiplied with 3. And as you can see, the bakery is already giving us money. And after this part here, we can, for instance, jump over 5 minutes of time with watching one of the commercials here or whatever it is. I'm not going to do that at the moment, but it would help. And as you can see, we have a couple of different other options or parts here. So this is more or less how happy the community more or less is. So you want it to be very, very happy because it's going to produce more money and stuff like that for you then. And I think if the happiness factor is going to go to 0, you are going to lose too. So be careful of that. And now we are just going to try to build something new, for instance, a community part with a playground for Shil to run here, which is going to increase the happiness even more, and we get experience points, but it's going to cost us gold, because gold, we have 75 bars of that already, but gold is something you are not really easily getting, so be very careful to buy something with that. Many of the stuff you're going to build here and you're going to find here is buildable, whatever, with normal money, so I would say just try to get that first, especially since if you are going to level up or something, many of the buildings which were already only available by buying it with gold, for instance, will be available in a higher level even with normal money. So you are not going to have to buy most things with gold. It depends a little, but in the end, just try it without that. And for that, just now try another building here, so houses in this case. And as you can see, if we are going to buy another cozy shabby hole in this case, because we already have one, it's going to cost us money, and not too small money. So it's not very, very cheap or something. And so let's use the charming chateau in this case, which will increase our part. But here you can see it's already pretty big. So we really have to do it in a different way. Let's move that this time around. That looks better. And if we are putting it down now, we are going to go to the next level, because the chateau there is going to give us a lot of experience points. And of course you can see which level you are at this point. And so let's try to give this part a row too. Just put it in here. And as you can see, it's pretty fun to create this little city now. And of course you can take your time and just build it like you want it to be. If, for instance, for some reason the space is not going to be enough for you, you can always buy more space if you're clicking on the for sale part here. And with that, we could do that at the moment, but I'm not going to, because I already have a lot of room here. So we can just use our money for something else there. Okay, so let's have a look at the newly possible things to build here. For instance, we can build a beauty salon, but it's 6 gold in this case, so maybe we're not going to do that. Underwater restaurant needs to be underwater, and we don't have anything of the space here, which is underwater already. So as you can see, we would have to buy first this part, and we are not at the moment at that place, so we're not going to do that. And I'm just going to get my money here from them. Okay. And of course, we are going to collect the other stuff here too. Let's see what we can build here. Okay, a hospital. A hospital is something I would say is pretty needed. So let's put that in, and I'm going to, yeah, for instance, put it in this direction too. And this will increase the happiness level, of course, again. But as you already can see, the happiness is rapidly going down. We are still in a very, very good mood here for our part, but the larger you're building the city, the more you have to build and the more you have to do. As you can see, we can scroll in and out here too. So if you want to see more about that, have a look at that. I'm not sure what this is, more money probably. And yeah, after that, let's see what we can do. For instance, if we want to increase the decorations or the happiness of people, you can just put in decorations. There are a couple of different options, for instance, different kind of trees, benches, ponds, and so on and so forth. And the good thing is, if you're going to put something in like this, you are going to get a little bit of happiness, and it just looks nice. So I'm just going to put this one at this point, for instance. Be careful with that, don't put it everywhere, because of course you need your build space, and if you're going to do too much with that, you're not going to be able to, for instance, put in new houses or stuff like that. So let's see if we can build a new house already. Yeah, as you can see, this was before that, before we got to the level 4, was this gold part, and now it's buyable by normal money. So we are going to put it here, for instance. And now we can go in, build another road here. So there we are. And I'm just going to build the road to this. And now we should be able to put in something else here too. But you already see it's all about building stuff and checking back from time to time to get your money from the different businesses here, which are going to be here. And there are a couple of different other options. For instance, as you can see here, we will have a port later on. And we might even have some kind of a ferry terminal here, and so on and so forth. So there are pretty many different things you can build and work with. And I really like the game for that, because it really has many different nice things. A school, for instance, needs to be built probably too. So we are going to put it here. And yeah, give me the experience, please. That's nice too. And we want the money, of course. Just to let you know, you can upgrade your different buildings too. So just click on them and then go to this button to increase, for instance, the cash you're going to receive from it. Or maybe sometimes happiness of the people is going to be increased with, for instance, a better fire station and so on and so forth. So this might be helpful. You can wait for that by just waiting for the minutes that are going to be here, or you're just going to click on that and use money or gold to speed everything up. We're not going to do that in this case. That's just a waste of money for 11 seconds or something. But yeah, this is more or less what we can do here. And yeah, I would say that's more or less all I can show you here, because everything else is just trying to increase and get better and better with more stuff. Some things can't be built everywhere, so if you have a look at this, for instance, furniture store, for a furniture store to be able to build that, you really have to be on soil, which is not available in this map at the moment, so you're not going to be able to put that in. This is, for instance, for a beach. We could buy that already, but I don't think we could use it, so we're not going to put it in at the moment, because maybe we can put it here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's try to find that again. No, not a fishmonger. I want a canteen in this case, so we are trying to build this exactly. For instance, is at this position, something like this. If we have a beach, we should use it. And as you can see, we reached the next level, and each and every level we are going to get new buildings and new stuff, and this is more or less what this whole game is all about. So if you like some kind of a, let's say, oh, we even got much further. It's level 6 at the moment. But as you can see, this is more or less a game, and it's very much like SimCity or something, but in a nice way, and you can really get different things, and you really don't have to be around all the time. You're just going to get back to the game after that and just play from where you have been. Just try it out if you like this kind of games. Yeah, and the next game is something, or the last game in this episode, is something that is more like an action game, so no longer something to build up or some supermarket store or something like that. It's going to be a defense game where you are going to have different kind of soldiers, more or less, which are going to, or who are going to fight against zombies. So let's have a look at that game. I really like it. It's a pretty nice one because it merges some kind of a defense or tower game and some kind of an action game in itself. And so let's have a look at this game. HNG Zombie Defense is the name of it. Takes a little to load at the start, so don't confuse this with something like a crash or something. It's really just loading the game now. And yeah, what this game is all about, already told you about that, is the defense against zombies with different kind of upgrade units and stuff like that and so forth. It's a 3D game, top down, pretty realistically. So let's have a look at that. As you can see, here we go. We have a couple of different options here. One is of course play now, upgrades, cloud drive, which is not connected at the moment, and this is just to finish it. But we are going to start off with game mode. First off, we will change the, okay, this is just the menus, but we will change the language to English just so you can easier see what's going on. Come on. Oh, it's not. It's not going to change the language. Sorry for that. So we will have to play it in German. And yeah, we even have to restart it. Sorry for that. The game itself is pretty flawless, as I have seen at least for now. But seems like changing the language is something that is too much work for the developer, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to change my position here. I'm going to go and move around. And now we are just going to play this game, hopefully in German, sorry for that. I'm going to translate everything I can. So there we are. And everything we have to do now is click on play. And there are a couple of different game modes in here. So for instance, normal, nightmare, 3-man challenge, TV challenge, and boss challenge. And what we are going to play is of course normal for the first time here. For that, just click on the Spielen or play button. And as you can see, we have a couple of different levels to play here, so a lot of them. And there are optional levels like this one, and there are levels which are going to give you more experience and go through the different games here. So yeah, so the first couple of them I already have played, so I'm going to go to this one now. And we are on it. So, back on the street. There is a difficulty level which is normal in this case. We will have 9 zombie waves. There will be about 339 zombies going to fight against us. They will have a stamina of 70 to 250, which is mediocre, whatever, but pretty hard to do at the start, of course. And we will have a zombie type of walkers, so just the walkers which are going to try to overrun you there. Yeah, and the headquarters are pretty happy with us because we really did everything right, and so we are going to go to a new part and try to get that one done. Nothing special about that. So let's click on start. And this is wave 1 with a stamina of 70, and we if there are going to be groups of zombies, we will have to use our hand grenades for that. And as you can see, this is a game from the top. So as you can see, we can move the camera around and have a look at the different parts here. It's 3D somehow. As you can see, it's a 3D game. And we will just have to place our people or our soldiers, whatever you want to call it, on this kind of defense mechanisms. So first off, let's use the recruits in this case and put something in. So first off, this is called a sheriff. A sheriff is going to have one of the pistols more or less, and he is going to be able to shoot in the area of this. As you can see, there's going to be some kind of zombie running around and he's going to fire at them. And you will have to notice or to be able to see that they are going to come from different angles and you don't know where they are coming from. So make sure that you can, for instance, put in different people here. So that was already the first wave. It's really an easy wave in this case. But just to let you know, you can only position the different soldiers you are using here to one of these places. And just to let you know, in general, you only have a couple of them. So soldiers like 3 or something is normal, much more is not possible. And you have these different positions where you can put them. And now just wait for the zombies to run around. I'm just going to show you how that is looking here. Pretty nice graphics if you ask me. And they're just going to fire at them. You don't have to do anything for that. It's going to be auto fire in this case. And yeah, important to know, if you're going to put one of your soldiers on one of those yellow parts here, so just select one and now double click on it. He will move to the other position then, and the yellow part means that the soldier is more effective because he was, yeah, let's say he's now a lieutenant or something. And you can even try to give him some kind of a raise here. If you do that, you get a couple of different options. For instance, the health will be increased, the damage output will be increased, and so on and so forth. How fast they're going to shoot is increased too. And this is of course a very good thing, so be very careful to put them on the yellow part or even update those. If you are, for instance, clicking on, yes, thank you, if you are going to click, no, that wasn't what I wanted here. Okay, so if you are going to click on one of those, you can, by clicking on this button here, increase this to a yellow part too. Or you can even put in more of the fighters here. Be careful with your money, because this is the money you already have here, and of course we are going to use more of that later on. So for now I already upgraded something with the weapons. First off, you will have only these guys with magnums probably, but now we can even get in some kind of a rifle soldier here, and he is going to try to hold the different zombies here back. And let's see if we can put in, no, it's all 3 people here, there is not more in this level, so 3 of those are going to be the ones you are going to use in this level. And now just try to get everything done. Level 4, so now level or wave, the next wave. As you can see, we have a different party too, so on some of occasions there will be a kind of upgrade more or less for us here, and I will raise here, give him a raise here too. So in the end there are upgrades available and stuff like that. For instance, in this case, hand grenades. So these buttons are going to help you in different situations. Just click on them to see something for that. And as you can see, this is a sheriff, so we get a couple of different informations here, like health, like damage output, like how often he's going to shoot in a minute in this case. And this is the first time I got one with a rifle here, so I'm 16 or something, and he's going to fire at everybody. Yeah, okay. And now, as you can see, you really have to more or less get through the waves here and try to kill as many of them as possible. If the zombies are going to come to your soldiers because there are too many and you can't kill them all or something, then you are going to lose health, of course. And in some situations there are more than just those walkers we are seeing here, so there are going to be for instance dogs which are infected, there are going to be birds which are infected, there are going to be bigger zombies, so some which you really need to get more firepower for, because otherwise they are going to overrun you. And as you can already see here, they are going to be, with a lot of them running against us, sooner or later they are going to be at our place and trying to kill us. Just losing one of the soldiers isn't really a big deal, because in general you have enough money to buy a new one, so you just put them in, but you already or always can only put in 3, and if 3 of them are going to die more or less at the same time and you can't recruit something new, you're going to die and you will have to restart. So let's do the 7th wave in this case. Okay. Let's see how many we are going to fight against here. Oh, we can even increase him too, so give him a raise. He's going to be more effective like that. We have enough money to do something like this. It's not really a thing. Be careful that you have enough money left at the last shoot, whatever, because it can be spent on upgrades and stuff like that too. So be a little bit careful how much you are going to spend, but in the end, at the start, it's really not a big thing to do it. For instance, we can of course increase this too for this guy. And now we're just going to wait for it. And just to let you know, you can just move your soldiers and your sheriffs and stuff by clicking on them and then double clicking one of the other fields, so he's going to run to the next part there. And that can be helpful if, for instance, you have to spread your soldiers after a while because there are too many of the different zombies which are going to run towards one place. And in some situations you can just try to decrease the likeliness of the zombies coming to your soldiers by, for instance, trying to put obstacles in their way and stuff like that, by just moving around on a different place. Okay, so wave 7. Wave 8 is going to be a little bit harder because the zombie is of course being having a bigger stamina in this case. And wave 9 is the last one we have to suffer through in this level. But as you can see, there are a lot of zombies already here. So let's see if we have to move or something. And I'm going to get this part, okay. If it's going to be very, very hard, I'm going to try to move this guy here to, for instance, this place. So I'm going to increase this for future usage here, because it's very possible that the guy with the rifle is easy. Move here. And now we have double the firepower here, so we can just kill them all. The soldiers are in general shooting at the guys who are next to them. There are a couple of different exceptions from that. For instance, if there's going to be a flying bird or something, it's going to be targeted by most of the different soldiers you are going to use here first, and after that the other guys are going to be killed. Very important in some situations, because especially there can be auto guns and stuff like that, so if you are using those are not going to fire at everything. So for instance, crawlers are not going to be affected by the auto gun, so you need to have some kind of another soldier too if you're using that. And as you can see here, we got a pretty big guy. Let's move at least one more to that, and he's going to kill us very, very rapidly. So we really have to get rid of him. Yeah, he's very hard to kill, as you can see. Maybe we need to get one of our grenades here to be able to overruns them again. The good thing is we can get, for instance, this special character. Let's use that guy. And don't. There is of course a medic option here too, so if for instance one of the guys is going to be injured, you can really try to heal him. And I think now we are fine again. Let's increase that guy, so give him a raise. And now we should be pretty fine for now. I didn't know him, he seems to have a AK, yeah, okay. So Kalashnikov is going to be used here. And he is pretty powerful with that. So he can easily handle this. Going to put him here. And of course, as you can see, he has a pretty large fire range too. And I'm just going to try to give him here a little bit of health. And as you can see, we got the last wave here and can end the mission or keep on playing. In general, I'm going to end the mission. It's about money you can get here if you're playing on. But in the end, we can do that in the next level too if we want to. So, this was this. And now, as you can see, we can get different kind of soldiers here and stuff like that. For instance, here's a Tesla soldier, which is going to be something like an electric fighter. And there's a machine gun we can use, auto gun, and we can have the what is it, merchandiser or something? People who are paid for fighting for you, more or less. So nobody from the country or something, but somebody you are going to hire in the private sector, and they are going to fight for you. This would be this. Flamethrowers available and stuff like that. You can have snipers, you can have grenades or grenade launchers. This is more or less a hunter who is going to put in some kind of trap, and so on and so forth. So you can increase the team size. This is very helpful. I think I will activate that. Maybe, can I even do it? Yeah, cool. This is going to help us a long time. So let's try it again. With 6 soldiers in this case. I'm pretty sure we should be able to do everything now. I'm not sure, can I? Let's see what we can do here. We can't use our different higher soldiers, because this is all about the sheriff, so we only have sheriffs in this case. But maybe we are able to put in more soldiers now, I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, now we have 4 soldiers firing at the guys, and I'm going to put in more. Because we have a size of 6 now we can use here, and that should give us pretty much of an option. I played this already, it's a Sheriff Challenge, it's called. And as you can see here, there are a couple of different enemies here. For instance, the dogs which are running around. There are different kinds of dogs even, so bigger ones and slower ones and stuff like that, and faster ones of course too. And now we are just going to try to prevent them from killing us. Let's see if we can do it. It was pretty undoable before. But maybe with more soldiers it should be easier, I'm not sure. They are giving us a hard time anyway. So in this case we are going to move around here a lot and trying to kill everybody. Medic, trying to increase it, just to show you what's going on here and that it's pretty hard sometimes. It's not like easy or something. Good thing is you can of course buy different soldiers in between too, so they are not going to be able to overrun you in a very easy fashion. But still pretty hard to solve this level or this wave. But is much easier than before. Last time around I had to really run around with my soldiers here, trying to put them on different kind of places to increase the walking distance for the zombies here, but this time around it seems to be possible. Yeah, looks pretty okay at the moment. But this is only wave 13 of 20, so there's going to be much more. I'm not sure if we can do everything. The good thing is, if you don't want to play this anymore, you can just leave this level more or less and come back later on to play from the wave you last attempted. And just to let you know, if for instance you are not willing to wait too long for this, you can increase the timing here. I don't like it like that. I play with the one timer because you really have to sometimes just react to the different people here. As you can see, there are the dogs running around, the walkers, of course. There is, for instance, some kind of bird flying around which is going to attack you, but the good thing is those are going to be the ones who are killed first. And now let's have a look at how many of them we can kill. As you can see, it's already pretty hard already. One down here, please. Helps. More helps for that. Okay. Oh. Some already overrun me here. More soldiers, please. Here we go. Put it in. As you can see, they are going to really give us a hard time already again. Great. And of course, if one of the soldiers died, you really have to give him his raise again, which is of course costing money too. Not very helpful, and there are a lot of different zombies coming here for us. And kills them again. They are really hard this time around. Good thing is you can of course put in more soldiers all the time to different places. Good thing about that is of course that if you do that, zombies are going to run to different places, and like that it's harder for them to kill you because, for instance, those guys are dead. I can't do anything about that. But if I now put in those places here, they're going to have to run for us for a long time, and after that, of course, we are just going to put one of the guys again at this point. So it really takes a long time for everybody to run there, and this is what I'm really going for here. I don't think I have any kind of... Yeah, you can see it already, it's still very hard to do. Good thing is we have enough money for now. Otherwise we would be dead here in a second. They're really trying to overrun me here. Really hardcore. Okay. Yeah, and he is dead. Can't do anything about it. But good thing about it is, of course, I can put in more soldiers at different places here, trying to help him a little bit, but it's not going to happen. He's going to die. Can't do anything about that. But as mentioned before, I can just put in new guys and try to kill more and more like that. And of course, if I want to, I can just retreat here a little bit and try to give him more options for that. And since this seems to be the end of the wave, maybe I'm even able to help him a little bit more. He's not going to die. Yeah, okay. So, wave 14 has been completed and we are going to do wave 15 now. And yes, this is more or less a game. I could play it for a longer time now, but I think the episode is already long enough. So this is more or less a game. You are going to try to use your soldiers to get rid of the different... Yeah. to get rid of the different zombie waves. They are going to attack you, and you are going to increase your weaponry arsenal, and of course the people you are playing with, or the different sheriffs and soldiers and so on, which are going to play with. And this is more or less what this game is all about. A defense-like game with a 3D engine used here. And I really like the game. I like all the tower defense games, as you already know from me. And this one is a pretty good one. So try it out, have fun, and hope you are going to like it. If so, please give this video a thumbs up, of course. So put it in. And if you have any kind of questions, whatever, put them down in the commentary section down below. And of course, if you didn't subscribe till now, please do that now. So thank you for watching, thank you for listening. There will be a special episode to this episode. This is episode 300, as mentioned before. And so please have a look at that too. You can find it at the corner up there, or in the finish line, whatever, that is going to be there. So have a look at that. I think it's worthwhile watching that, because it's going to talk a little bit about what's going to happen with the channel, and in the end, let's see what's going on there, okay? So have a nice day, have a nice week. Hope we will see us in the special episode. Other than that, watch other videos from the channel, of course, and then thank you for watching, thank you for listening, see you around, and bye. Bye.